being here. Tonight we have a special treat. We have Dr. Brimhall. He's really such a blessing. He's a wealth full of knowledge, and he's going to be pouring into us tonight. And I know a lot of you know Dr. Brimhall, but there are new faces that do not know him. So I am going to introduce him. He's been a chiropractor and in practice for over 2 decades. He has been in practice for over 2 decades, trained healthcare providers for over 25 years on health protocols to address the root cause of the dysfunctions. How cool. And he's been part of a nutritional formulating family. So he has a unique practical perspective to share. So tonight, he is going to share with us how we can improve our health using collagen and different resources. So I'm so happy to have you, Dr. Brimhall. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, Holly, appreciate it. And I'm actually glad to have you here to help interpret what some of the medical people say, but grateful that you're here to help us through this process. Again, thank you for being here, each of you. For those of you that are guests on, this is something we do every Wednesday because we really want people to have the best knowledge they can to make decisions for their families. So appreciate it.
Absolutely. So the first thing I wanted to start out with tonight, we're going to talk about the new true science activating collagen. Collagen's a huge buzzword. A lot of people use it. A lot of people talk about collagen. So I wanted to start out first by asking you, Dr. Brimhall, what does the role of collagen play in our overall health?
Okay, perfect. And yeah, please tell me Dr. Brett. That way they don't get confused with that old guy, my dad, right?
Gotcha.
I'm actually glad you brought this question up and I like what you said, activated collagen. So guys, if you're not familiar with LifeVantage and what we do, we're an activated company. And what that means is that we believe the body has the capacity and the desire to heal itself. And what we're all about is bringing products to market that activate the body's inborn ability to do just that. And so when you hear the term activated, what we mean by that is a combination of things that literally turned on the switches in our cells to help heal or help improve the body's processes. So back to your question on collagen. So one of the things we want to do is we want to activate the body's ability to heal. We want to support it with what it needs to make the things to create health. And so what collagen, and many people heard collagen, probably the first thing most people think about is their skin, right? Collagen is actually a substance that's everywhere in your body. So yes, you see it. It's in your skin, it's in your hair, it's in your nails, but you see it, it's in a lot of places you do not see. It's in your blood vessels. It's in your blood-brain barrier. It is in your intestinal tract. Like most of your bones are made up of collagen. It's in your joints. So collagen is literally everywhere. And it is key for us to have collagen to basically, it's the infrastructure or the scaffolding of your skyscraper. So without collagen, like you cannot have a good skyscraper. And your body is just that. So every cell has collagen associated with it because that's how the cells basically connect like Legos on top of each other. And actually literally how they communicate and connect is through these collagen type structures. So you have to have it. So yes, it's for your skin, hair, and nails, but it's a lot bigger than that.
Wow, I love that. That's such a great analogy. And I think that a lot of people, if you're here tonight, maybe somebody shared with you like before and after pictures of what this collagen is doing. And it's super, super exciting. But the nerd inside of me is like, well, I really want to talk about what it's doing on the inside because we all want to be youthful. We all want to have great skin. But like, isn't it cool to know how is it actually helping on the inside? Like if it's doing that on the outside, what is it doing on the inside? So can you explain how collagen is helping? I know you mentioned the gut. Can you explain like how it's helping our gut health? How it's supporting?
And actually, after this, I'd love you to throw a picture up of somebody that's had an effect on collagen. We kind of talk about why we're seeing it and what that means on the inside. And maybe do that. Throw a picture up if you can of something that somebody's seen, because humans are funny. I've learned this over the years. Is they really, a lot of people only care about, well, it's right, if they only care, they care more about what they see in the mirror than they literally care about like how they feel, which blows my mind all the time. But like what you see here is the changes in actually Dr. Cat skin in just in a short 30-day period. All right, and the thing you're concerned about, like, is not always what your body's concerned about. So for her to see the changes in her skin, and you look at how it looks, but also in how it feels and how it performs. There's a lot of difference with that, how it looks, how it feels, and how it performs. So you think about the skin itself. So you look at just her skin and just the way in which the lines look, and just the way the health looks, and maybe even like I'm gonna say the moistness or the color of her skin. All right, so that's a healthy tissue, right? So in order to, and that's great, because the skin, we want to look young, right? That's awesome. But healthy skin means that it absorbs things that it needs to absorb, and it gets rid of stuff it doesn't need. All right, so your skin is literally one of your biggest organs of your body. And if it does not function well, you literally cannot sweat out the crud that's in you. And so when you have super healthy skin, you have a healthy barrier where stuff that you don't want to come into your body can't come in, and you have stuff that can go out and go out. So you have those same barriers in other places in your body. You have those barriers in your intestinal tract. You have those barriers, between your blood and between your brain. So these barriers are super critical, and they're not just a moat. Like it's just like a castle. The castle moat is much more than just a barrier, right? It literally has, bridges, and it has pathways for things to come in and out. And so your intestinal tract, that's why collagen is critical for your intestinal tract. It keeps a healthy barrier, just like you see here, a healthy barrier, to where then the intestinal tract can let stuff in that wants to come in and let stuff out that needs to come out. And that's critical, because literally most autoimmune diseases that we talk about and study in science and in medicine, it starts with a dysfunctional digestive tract. Because once that barrier is broken down, now things are coming in that shouldn't come in, and vice versa. So when I look at these pictures that I'm seeing you guys will see float around the internet, and a healthy, vibrant skin means we have a healthy membrane. And the reason why the skin looks more full, more plump, is because it can hold water correctly. That's why you see that health, that vibrancy, but that's a healthy barrier. And so you have to have that in the intestinal tract as well. Well, that also has to do with elasticity, right? We hear that term elasticity. So we all know, like, as we get older, like, some things just don't sit where they used to. All right. So the skin changes, and that has to do with the collagen elasticity and the way it can hold water in the correct places. So think about anything that needs elasticity in the body has to have collagen. So things like your joints, they have to have elasticity because they have to hold water in order to create cushion. So in your low back, your disc have to have cushion, have to hold water. The cartilage of your joints has to be able to hold water. All right. Well, what about the elasticity of your blood vessels? Right, the elasticity. And somebody just pointed here. Look at the eyes specifically. Like, look at the lines underneath your eyes and the side of her eyes. So that's the elasticity you're seeing in her skin. Well, you have elasticity in your blood vessels that are super critical. There's a ton of collagen in blood vessels. So yes, I'm like you, Holly. I like to talk about the health benefits that go along with it, because unfortunately most people stop doing the things that they should be doing because they don't feel it happening. So when it comes to your skin, like I'm loving what we're seeing with this in sometimes 7 days and 30 days, but the benefits that you're going to see or possibly see is drastically different in day 60, day 90, day 120, because like the skin, like thank goodness, like you have sunburn, and within 2 to 3 days, like you don't see it as much. That's because the skin, it repairs very quickly in comparison to other places. Well, what if you're somebody out there that you're super deficient in collagen, and you're hoping that maybe you might see some benefit in some of those other areas of your body? Well, if you are dealing with like joint stuff, like that's probably 6 months, right? Before you're gonna maybe notice as much benefit as you could, or maybe even longer, right? So you got to understand that that's wherever your collagen is, your vascular tissue or in your intestinal tract, it's going to take longer for you to maybe feel the things that you want to feel. But if you're like most humans, you'll forget what you felt.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. And you kind of answered my next question, was like, how is collagen good for the brain? I guess because the brain has a barrier, just like the gut has a barrier.
Yeah, so then we think about that. So that part of the barrier is one big, huge component to that. And there's super, super important, just that standpoint alone, just letting stuff in that needs to come in, let stuff out that needs to come out. But the other thing we don't think about is the communication systems of the cells. So guys, no one cell is independent of the other system. It's just not. And so that collagen lattice structure that's there, like it literally, it is what allows the cell to communicate one with another. And so even and you'll look at, so if you want a place, go to a place, can you go to a place called PubMed.gov and type in collagen and like GI tract, or collagen and brain, and collagen and joint, and collagen and skin, and you're going to see some fascinating things that relate to how in which the body heals. And I know you brought this up with the effect that gut and brain has. So one of the things that we talk a lot about with LifeVantage is this idea of activation and the idea of working with systems, not symptoms. And so when you look at this picture here, I love that you have it here, is that when you can improve the communication in the gut, you can improve the communication in the brain. Because one of the things you'll learn about collagen, so go in and type in collagen and serotonin. There are a lot of things that relate to collagen, to how it affects serotonin levels, and part of that relates to, because most of your serotonin, which is your happy hormone, or your happy, what's called a neurotransmitter, it is made in your digestive tracts. So having a healthy barrier intestinal tract, which is good, also means that you have healthy cells that can produce things that it can normally produce, which one of them being serotonin, which makes your brain happy.
Yeah, I love that. Well, that's super important. And you broke it down very simply. Like, we are getting collagen is super important for the gut, but also the brain. And it really explains how that helps your mood, your digestive system. I love that. I want to show one other little picture that I think is a really great visual, because sometimes it's nice to have a visual when we're talking about this kind of stuff. At least I feel like that. So I wanted to show this to you, and maybe you could kind of explain a little bit. You were talking about the barrier in the gut.
It was kind of cool. You guys see these pictures that you're going to see on the internet floating around, and I think they're fascinating. Like, it's amazing to watch the changes. You look at the lines here. I know I was kind of talking with Sean Pollard there, and just to see the changes that of your skin and what's happening with the less line, less wrinkles, more elasticity, right? So we're looking younger. So it's great to look younger, but what if your cells could perform like they were younger? So what you're seeing in this depiction here is this idea of the health of the cell. And like on that far right, you'll see there's it's called leaky gut. You can kind of see that here. This here right here. Can you see my arrow? Is it showing up or no? Okay, yeah.
I can.
So that right there. So on the far left, if you go left, where it says there's no gap between them, yeah, that's a healthy drawbridge on your castle. Okay, you are controlling what comes inside and outside of your castle, and if your castle is your cell, that's a good thing. All right, then on the far right, you'll see like a big gap. And guess what? Your drawbridge is down, and there's stuff coming in that you do not want. All right, so having that collagen helps that a healthy membrane there that allows you to regulate that drastically. And when that happens on the skin, we see it. Like less wrinkles, more elasticity, like less crow's feet, things of that nature. But in the intestinal tract, you're not going to see that. Like, it's not, unless you do a microscope thing. but you're gonna feel it in the terms of how you digest food and the way in which your brain feels, that fogginess that some people get. I mean, some of you might get when you eat food, your brain feels foggy. Guess what? That's a problem right here. And so that's why the collagen can have a huge benefit, and some of the other activating things we do can have a huge benefit. One thing I want to bring up to you guys is this idea that we call activated collagen. So what this collagen product does is very different. So when you start studying collagen and the studies that have been done out there on collagen, you're going to hear about the idea is we're giving the body the ingredients that it needs to make collagen, because really the body is the magic. Like, it's the one that takes this and magically makes this stuff. But the other things you put with that matter. Right? So when it's called activated collagen, there's actually other specific plant extracts that are added into the collagen specifically because that turns on the ovens in the cells to take the collagen you're getting and then turning it into what you want it to be. So when you think of most supplements are kind of like the ingredients you get at the grocery store. Right, so I'm gonna make me, you know, it's 4th of July weekend. I'm gonna make me some like super like yummy rolls, right? And so I've got to have the right ingredients in the right ratios, okay? Because you can't have it in the wrong ratio, and you can't put them in at the wrong time, and you have to let it sit for the right period of time. Otherwise, it does not taste the same. But even if you do everything right there and you don't have an oven to bake it at the right temperature, it's a problem. So most companies out there, they focus on ingredients, which is important. So have the very best ingredients you possibly can, but understanding how they should be put together, and then putting activating things in with it that turns the ovens on. In our body, we call those the assembly lines. They're called pathways in our body. It turns the assembly lines on so your body can basically turn the oven on and make it. All right, and there's huge pathways. So when you see this picture here, you saw that the liquid collagen, what's called protein and nerve 2. So protein and nerve 2 is a pathway, or think of it the oven that makes the enzyme that deals with inflammation. Okay, they call it infla-aging, because when you're inflamed, you'll age. So what LifeVantage is doing is this concept of genetic activation with proven products scientifically that turn on those genes, combining it with activated collagen to maximize the benefits. And yes, you're going to see some really cool things on the outside. Just know that also could take place on the inside. You just may not feel it right away, because your body never fixes what you want first, just so you know. Okay? It's going to fix what it has to, and then eventually what it wants to. And so to be able to combine the super clean marine-based collagen that tastes super yummy because it's clean, and combine that with activation, it's a game changer.
I love that explanation. And like, guys, if you're coming here tonight and maybe somebody shared collagen with you, but you don't know what this NRF2, this blue bottle is, get with the person that invited you here, because that is super special. And, you know, when we have tools like this to activate our body to work optimal, that's really a blessing. And that's definitely more powerful than just using a plain old supplement. So that is why this is different. I get, you know, because I was like, well, I take a lot of collagens. I've taken so many pills and powders and liquids and all the things, but none of them have ever activated my body to help produce more collagen. So that's how this is different. And then, yeah, so I don't know, Dr. Bryce, you want to go over?
Yeah, this is a great one. Thanks for bringing it up. So there's a picture, and I love that you brought slides, because I'm not a slide guy always. But so red quinoa extract is one of those specific things that turns on the genes for your body's production of collagen. So if you're past 25, you're not making it like you used to. That's just what happens, right? We know that. So what we're doing, we're maximizing the body's ability to produce it with adding things like this that have been studied to activate the genes that cause your body to produce the collagen and the enzymes. So enzymes are what allow things to take place in your body. They're like the workers, and literally drastic upregulation in all the workers making the collagen. So you can make a lot more rolls with 100 ovens. If let's say you have all the ingredients you want and you have all the workers to help you, you can make a lot more products or things that you want in your body if you have more workers doing the work and you have more ovens. And so with the red quinoa, it's basically having all those engines running so you can maximize the production and the efficiency of utilization of the collagen to make the structures. At the same time, you're going to slow down the breakdown. The word they use is degradation, but like you're going to slow down the breakdown as well. So literally, like what this has been shown to do is going to upregulate the production of your collagen, replenish some of the stuff that's been there, and slow down the breakdown process. By doing all three, you're maximizing the body's ability to heal and repair.
I love it. And that's probably why we see such amazing results in such short amount of time.
But here's the other thing that tie into it that make it clean. So, and here's one of the things that I love about LifeVantage. It's a publicly traded company. And so I've been in the nutritional space a few years. And so my dad had been formulating supplements for probably close to 40 years now. And so I grew up with it. So I only took products that either he knew the company or he was involved with making it, because I understood what it took to make a product and make sure it was clean and it was tested and you would get what you thought you were going to get. And up until really learning about LifeVantage. So the level of scrutiny that a publicly traded company has to produce high quality product is much more than a non-publicly traded company, because they have to have a whole level of different people looking at them. And so LifeVantage is making products with a very different question in their mind. Is they're not saying, hey, how do we find how do we find a better collagen? Say, hey, how do we make a collagen that's super clean, right, from a very sustainable resource, but we can activate it genetically to maximize the body's ability to utilize it, no matter who you are. Someone asked a question about different races, ethnicities, and things like that, and how that'll affect them. Remember, the structure of collagen is the same for no matter who you are. Like you need these components of these peptide things that are structured that your body needs to make it. But then your genes have to be turned on. And so what LifeVantage has done is that they've taken the guesswork out. Like, how do we find the cleanest work possible? Which I love the fact that it's liquid, super easy to take, and it tastes good. They added in specific things that protect the collagen structures and maximize its potency, and it has a natural fruit extract, so it tastes good. The clean source, and then with the activated nutrient in it, allows us to literally get that into you. So, and then to have the science backing where we go and test the results, and then to watch the consumers enjoy it. Like it's a very different experience. And so, and then to watch really thousands of people be able to take it and watch the results, it's a blast to experience that, because you're going to see the best. And if there's any like outliers or things not going well, we're going to hear about it being publicly traded, which I like, right? Because then that allows us to do our homework to produce a better product every time. And that's the same with all of their products. So I want to say the liquid making it bioavailable. Here's what I've learned about humans. The easier it is to do, the more likely they'll be successful, and especially men. Okay, if it's not simple, they're just not going to do it. And so being a single serving liquid container makes it easy, and it's already like as soon as you swallow it, your body's going to start absorbing it. Right? Super, super easy to have, and to have it in that form where you can take it and go, it's awesome. And so here's one of the things that it's extracted, right, through a process called hydrolysis, water, and enzymes to basically utilize these structures. And it delivers basically the components to build the collagen. Right? So what you're going to notice with it depends on the person, but what you'll see from my experience, if you look at the pictures. You have a few pictures?
Yes, I do.
Here's a few pictures. So you want to notice any place you have skin. Okay. And that could be hands, that could be face, That can be your legs. It can be your eyes. I've had a lot of people talk about just how they can see better. And what they mean by that is their eyes open more, right? Because that elasticity, what happens when we get old, a lot of times our eyes get squishier because your body's like, it doesn't have elasticity to pull your eyes up. So you'll see that around the eyes. And then keep in mind what you might feel. All right. So if you had better hydration in your joints, what might you feel? Well, more fluidity of motion, like less stiff and achy when you wake up. You might be able to bend down and pick something up like a grandchild and feel more stable. What might you experience in the digestive tract? Well, the food doesn't just sit there. Like it feels like it moves through you, or you feel like you don't have as much congestion, or even being more tired after eating. What might you feel mentally? You might feel like you can make decisions quicker with less worry, faster decision making. You might feel less foggy in the head, right? For some like even young kids and stuff, like who needs collagen? Like anybody's alive. If you're dead, I guess you don't need it, but anybody's alive. Like it is making and utilizing and breaking down collagen all the time. And so what might you feel from a mental standpoint is just like less cloudy, even just more lighter. Like those days that you're not feeling so heavy or so dark, right? Or overwhelmed. Like those are things you might feel mentally. And some people will a lot of times just notice when they get up, they want to get up. So there's some of the things you might notice, but pay attention because what you're gonna feel in the first 30 days is much different than what you'll feel in my opinion, 60 days. I love this picture where it shows the changes that happen over 30 days. And guys, just keep in mind, like that deep layer of your skin, like when you're seeing the changes already at this level, imagine what happens over the course of the next few months as the body can replenish like the tissues that have been like damaged over time.
Yeah. Well, I'm like super excited. I think it's amazing what we're seeing on the outside, and I'm so excited about all the health benefits that we're going to reap. And thank you so much for breaking it down, explaining how it's helping us and what we can expect to feel like in the different areas of our body. I love your explanations. And guys, get back with the person that invited you to this Wellness Wednesday. If you have more questions, ask them. They are there to support you. And that really is all we have for tonight. And I'm so glad that you all took time out of your night to be here. And thank you again, Dr. Brett, so much for all of this wonderful knowledge and explanation. I so appreciate it.
For being on here, guys. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.
God bless.
Recording stopped.
Thanks everyone for hopping on. If you have any questions about the liquid collagen, please reach out to the person that invited you to the group, okay? Take care.